Morning. How are you? I hope you're well today. Welcome to Mel's Mindful Moments. I have a couple of questions for you today. Who or what am I beneath all my roles? We have lots of those, don't we? From very young, we might pick up labels and roles that we do. And if we thought of each of the roles that we play as a piece of clothing, and we slowly just took off these layers as the sun shone on us and we got hot and we thought, I need to start taking off all these layers. Who are we underneath all of that? Might be defined by family status, brother, mother, sister, wife, husband, niece. You might define yourself by your jobs. I always remember a lady who spoke to me many years ago, and she was speaking about the religion she joined, and she said, we are all good, kind people. And I challenged her on that, and I said, what, do you own this? Do you gain this as like a club when you join? Because I thought it was using the role or as saying this is who I am, and that may be how she defined herself, but it doesn't automatically make you kind and a good person, because actually she proved very much the opposite as time went on. And I thought we do often look to others, don't we? And they have a particular role, and we judge them and assign certain qualities to them, thinking that must mean they're an honest person because of this job, or they're a kind person or a good person. And to be fair, I think history has helped us prove that no, that isn't the case. We are all our own soul and person, and we need to stand true in our own authenticity, and we can't hide behind these roles. And I think, are we brave enough to take off all these layers, to see for ourselves what lays beneath, what is our most authentic self? I always remember reading about Einstein, and that, we quote him all the time, and his wisdom and what he brought to the world. But he couldn't get a job in physics. He was a clerk during the day and worked on his love and what he was, part of what he was here to do, obviously, in his spare time. So I found that's a really interesting one. And I think as we dig deeper, if you're brave enough to do it, to work towards finding your most authentic self, this came up next for me. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. And sometimes as we take off those layers and find what is beneath, and maybe are brave enough to realize it, step into it, and then say, wow, what new opportunities does that bring to me? That I now have discovered what I may be. How amazing is that? So I have a second question for you. What have been the most defining moments that have helped shape my life? Now, again, what we tend to be drawn to are the big things. It might be, when I got married, or when I passed an exam, or when I took on a job, or when I had my children, or whatever it is. But no, I'm thinking here, think maybe a bit deeper. What are some smaller items, moments that may have really changed you? And the last couple of days, I watched a movie, and it just happened to be on, and I thought, this seems really nice and light and happy, and had animals in it, so that makes it for me. And there was a line in it, and I thought, wow, that is going to help me move forward in my life. And the line was, in order to succeed in life, you only need to be courageous for 20 seconds. Think about that. Isn't that lovely? 20 seconds to make a choice, to speak to someone that you're frightened to speak to write a letter, apply for a job, to walk through a door of opportunity, to step out onto the stage. 20 seconds is that defining moment, whether you go, I'm going for it, or no, I'm not going for it. And I thought, I am going to use that. And that has been a defining moment in my life. And I thought, I was trying to think of other smaller things. And often it has been meeting somebody, seeing something, listening to something, where it's triggered a change in me or a change in direction or given me cause to think really, really deeply about my actions or which direction I'm going. So have a think about that, rather than put those big things that are obvious that come to mind. They're often the easy, simple things that we can just say, oh yeah, that's, when I did this, that was a defining moment. Of course those are. But sometimes it's the subtle ones that can also have really had a great impact on us. And then this, surround yourself with people who will lift you higher. Well, do you know, ever since I started introducing myself, since the beginning of this change in the world in the last couple of years, 18 months, I have looked into social media. I'd been new to it, and as I investigated it, I thought, hang on a minute, it's not us who seems to choose a lot of the time what we look at and who sees what we do. A lot of the time it can be, I've worked out, it's the analytics that show your posts to whoever they decide needs to see them, or who may have been engaging in them. So I thought this is where we need to take real responsibility for our actions. To you decide. You need to go looking for who you want to listen to. If they don't show up, I have certain people that I love to listen to watch, but I type in their name in the search and I go looking for their latest posts. I'm not saying some interesting things based on what I've looked at don't come up, and I might consider those, but I want it to be, most of the time, my choice where I decide to go. So that's another example of taking responsibility for where you want to go and what you want to look at. And I thought, with regards to surrounding yourself with people who will lift you higher. Oh, I dropped that one. I go searching, and I just posted on my page. There was a song by a lovely young woman called Lucy Thomas, A Voice of an Angel. Oh my goodness. And I've immediately subscribed to listening to her because she touched my soul. My heart made me cry with just the joy of her voice. And so I just thought she will be added to the people that I listen to that will lift me. There is so much around us at the moment that can bring us down, that I think it's very, very important to make more of these decisions of what lifts us, what defines us, what is going to bring us that little bit of joy. Take responsibility for what we take in through our ears, our eyes, what we speak, and let our authentic selves out, even if that's a bit scary at the moment. It might not quite be what we want to look at. In looking at it in the mirror, we can decide to change. And sometimes helping define who we are can be what we allow into our lives. So with that, I've rambled on enough today. There just seem to be a lot of messages coming through. So I will wish you a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Be well.